So piggybacking off my last video on how the 2024 Mustang is the worst selling Mustang in the history of Ford, as you can see here, a lot of people are talking about it. Why did it sell so poorly? Now, as we go through here the videos, a lot of people are talking about it, but the main thing that has a lot of us scratching our heads is how did the Mustang Mach E sell 7,000 more total units than the Mustang EcoBoost and Mustang GT and the Dark Horse combined? Well, that's something we're going to dive into, and we'll find out why that actually was the case and why it made sense. Hey guys, real quick, I do want to say that I have launched my memberships for the channel. There are 3 tiers: Enthusiast, Weekend Driver, and Mexico Racer. There is a video going in depth of what they will do. I'm actually providing a service to you guys when it comes to Weekend Driver and Mexico Racer, so make sure you check it out. And if you ever wanted real carbon fiber parts, I do have a promo code with carbon add-ons. Whether you have a Chevy, a Dodge, or a Mustang, a Ford, you can get real carbon fiber parts and save 5% off even on the discounted stuff using code FitCityGarage5, or use the link in the description of this video down below. So thanks for checking it out, and let's get on with the video. Okay, so let's do some digging. Let's do some detective work. Why did the Mustang Mach E, which is not a Mustang, do so well when Ford loses? I think I saw OC Motivator's video. He said they lose like $14,000 or something like that. They lose 5 digits on every single sale of a Mustang Mach E, which is bananas because they sold 7,000 more than a combined total of the EcoBoost, the GT, and the Dark Horse. But this is why. First of all, the MSRP is lower than a GT, okay? 320 miles of range is not bad. It is an SUV. People like SUVs. But here's the kicker. Some models lease at $250 a month. That is cheaper than an EcoBoost. So if we look at the current offers, let's check this out. So lease offers a 2024 Ford Mustang Mach E Premium all-wheel drive. $427 a month for 3 years. Only $427 cash due at signing. Taxes, title, license fees are extra. $427 a month for a premium all-wheel drive Mustang Mach E. It's an electric vehicle, sure, but some people just need vehicles to get around town. And the fact that they're leasing this, and it's not like you can add power and modify to these vehicles, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing you would probably do this vehicle is maybe do wheels and tires and tint the windows. But keep the stock wheels and tires. You can always use the aftermarket ones for something else down the road if you get another Ford. But I digress. You don't have to worry about anything. The thing could catch on fire and they'll just give you a new one. It's a zero-risk vehicle because you're leasing it. $427 a month is really cheap. And that's just absolutely absurd. And then you got 0 APR for 72 months for a 2024 as well. So basically what it comes down to is Ford, and this is something I just don't understand, because we also have the government tax credits too, the EV tax credits, which is like $7,500 for a new vehicle. What blows my mind though is we already knew that that was a thing, and Ford still continues to try to push these vehicles out there with way more incentives and pricings than their real Mustang. Like, look at all these offers for this, right? And then let's go to the, here's the different Mustang Mach-Es, by the way. But then let's go to the regular Mustang, view offers, pricings, and incentives. Now, a lease for, okay, why would you lease? Like, I'm talking non-car enthusiast, Joe Blow, or, you know, Sally, whoever it may be, someone who's not a car enthusiast. Why would you lease a Mustang EcoBoost for $413 when for just a little bit more money you can get an electric vehicle that's cheap to charge at home, doesn't cost you as much in gas, especially gas prices are still higher than they need to be right now. They're a lot higher than they need to be. Less due at signing. This has $3,765 due at signing. 10,500 annual miles for 48 months. I don't even think there was an annual mileage for the lease on the electric vehicle. But again, if you're not really traveling that much, which a lot of people don't necessarily do nowadays, surprisingly, because of the gas prices. But The electric vehicle is perfect for going around town, going to the grocery store, doing an occasional trip here and there. Not a lot of traveling, but occasional trip here and there. Maybe a 3 to 6 hour trip, 2, 3, maybe 5 times a year. You're still probably not going to touch over 10,000 miles doing that. But why would you go with an EcoBoost when the offers are they don't add up, they don't make sense, and they won't need more money right up front when you can get an electric vehicle? And notice that most of this stuff, like, come on, $637 a month leasing, and you're locked in at $10,500. And again, if you modify a vehicle in a lease, if you don't intend on purchasing it after the lease, the modifications, they're just going to go away. You're either going to give it back, or you're going to have to do modifications that you can take off the vehicle that you can keep. There's just not the incentives that they have for the Mustangs, the real Mustangs, aren't great. So let's see. You've got, let's look at the Dark Horse, $873 a month. I mean, mine was pretty close to that, and I wasn't even leasing it. It's just the car's way too expensive for what you get. Now, let's see. Retail offer, $812 a month. Let's look and see what they're talking about here. Down payment, they're already estimating a down payment, 84-month term at 10% APR. That is highway robbery. So a lot of people can get 7%, and that knocks it down to $725. But if we were doing like pre-COVID, it wasn't uncommon to get like a 3.5%, and that's something that's probably not going to come around anytime soon, especially now that the Fed has said that they're not going to do any more than probably 2 potential interest rate cuts, and those are going to be 1/4 point. I believe the lowest interest rate you can get my credit union right now is 4.5. So at minimum, my lowest potential interest rate for a brand new vehicle is 4. So we'll put 4 here. This is what you could expect for the absolute best rate. And the thing is it probably won't be at 84 months. It has to be at 72. Whenever you finance for 84 months, at least with my credit union, your APR does go up some because it's more, you know, it's more. So, but 72 at 4%, you're looking at $752 a month, which is still, I'm paying just a little over that for a BMW that has a bajillion more tech features and overall quality of life features than this Mustang GT Premium will probably ever have in the history of Ford. So make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. So this is why the Mustang Mach E sold 7,000 more units, because it's simply cheaper to get into. People are trying electric vehicles. I would be lying if I said I would never try an electric vehicle. I am very interested in a Tesla Model S, because you can pick them up for like $55,000, and there's only like 15,000 miles on them. They've barely been driven in the 3 years that they've been out, like a 2021 model, I should say. So it just doesn't make any sense. And if you actually look, let's look at a GT, right? Let's just look at it. 3.3 seconds, 0 to 60, 280 miles of range. That's plenty. Seating for 5. Again, it's not a Mustang. That's the #1 issue. Interior features, I mean, I'm sure it's loaded. I haven't sat in one of these in a while, so let's take a look at it just to kind of refresh our memory. I'll use an old zip code. Let's do that. That is a real old zip code. So if we look at where the hell's the interior at? Packages. Here we go. Interior details. Can we not look at the interior? Really, Ford? Is that what we're doing? Okay, here we go. I mean, I'm not a fan. The seats are cool. Back seats are nothing special. The seats are cool. This is okay. Having an extra room. That looks okay. It's very Dodge-esque. The steering wheel has something left to be desired. It looks okay. This looks, I don't know what that is. They should have integrated. See, this is where the iPad thing came from for the Mustang GT and the EcoBoost. Like, this is where the S650 Mustang iPad stuff came from. They birthed it from this vehicle, because you got to remember, the Mach E came out first. The Mach E was first, then the S650. Now, were they working on the S650? when they were releasing and working on the Mach E. Yes, and that is why the screens in the S650 were birthed from this thing. So if you want to blame Ford for a specific vehicle on the screens that are inside, like how they're integrated, they're just pads, like iPads on the dash. They're not integrated into the dash. If it's integration of any kind, it would be sick. It would be a better interior than what it is now. I do like the tech myself, but the way it looked was okay. My dark horse, it was okay, right? It was my first step into screens, and I like tech, but this is what you can blame for the tech that's in the Mustang S650s. So yeah, people are choosing this because it's just simply cheaper to get into, and gas is too high, and electricity, charging your car at home, is super cheap. And yeah, so it just makes sense at the end of the day why actual S650 Mustang sales are trash, and the Mach E is thriving. I guess Ford just likes to not make money because, again, they're losing 5 digits per car being sold. So I don't know how Ford is going to recoup those kind of numbers, but yeah, this is actually the tale of the tape on why these sold better than the Mustang S650. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Would you pick up a Mustang Mach E? Would you try it? Do you have one? How is it? Does it make sense why this sold more than the S650 Mustang, regardless of people's financial situations? Just comparing the vehicles and the incentives between the two. Because again, we're not talking about car enthusiasts. We're talking about normal people. Because the sales numbers is what's telling the truth. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.